Okay. No, it's yeah. Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Okay. Okay. So basically, I what I wrote was not quite much. So I came up. This is not mine. It's done by a guy called Pablo Stanley. If you are wondering, it's a designer. So there's this website where he did a lot of illustration of that. Okay, so basically, I'm talking on design systems for this. I'll be talking on design systems. So don't worry, you might not see a lot of this on the page. So okay. So firstly, at least whenever you are starting a project, whenever you want to start something, probably a product, now you need to come up with a design system for the product. And design system varies regarding the type of product you are working on. If it's for web, type of design you use for web is different from the one you use for mobile devices or mobile product or whatever that you have. So products varies, so design system varies. So let's just add that in mind. So the design system you use for one product, you should not use it for the second, or you can borrow ideas, or not use it step by step. It's better you create a whole new design system for that. So yeah, I just highlighted some steps for us. So firstly, know everything about the project or product. Now, this is very, very important. This helps to make things much more faster and easier for you as the designer, basically, or as anybody that is working on the project. I guess this can be applied to other arms of the product. So know your team members, know the set of people you'll be working with, the developers you'll be working with, the product managers, and several other set of people that are working on the project. Then know the technologies to be used. Now, know them. I'm not saying you should go and learn them. Just have rough idea about it. So probably, for example, now, if you're going to be doing something that is Android based, now you should have an idea of how Android do their things. That's why they have design guidelines. iOS have human interaction design that you use. So it's better to know those things. If you are going to be using Vue.js, at least there are some things Vue.js can do for web and several other technologies. Now, do not assume this. I'm always a victim of this. That do not assume things at some point. No, I'll be like, they should know. It should work. But it is much more better to actually clarify things and know. It's better not to assume that they should be able to. That should not come up whenever you're trying to get a design system. So that's the first thing. Second, research on the existing product. Now, this is not really necessary, but that's why I put in brackets if available. So, for example, now we are working on ginger. So let's say there's a product like ginger. It is not wrong for us to see products that are doing the same thing like ginger, and so to say, look at one or two things that we can gain from that. If you are doing something that's an app or maybe a website that looks like Slack or something, it's not wrong for you to go through that same product and okay, let me steal this idea, let me copy this idea or something. But I'm not saying you should not take it word for word. You should copy the same color, copy the same font, the same icon. No, that is not necessary. It's just being lazy if you are doing that. So try and add some tweaks to it wherever you see. So it makes your design kind of easy. Then you get to see things that are possible. For example, now you maybe during your thought process or during the brainstorming process with your team members, they were considering the fact if something was going to be possible, if a particular design will work for something. But looking at products that have been made already, you can see, okay, this is actually possible. Since these people did it on theirs, I can implement it on my own and design. So those are yeah, like what you draw. Just draw something on your book. Write things down. Please don't don't let us do my brain then of course your brain can be done. Don't when just allows you to get approvals. So once you do a sketch and you show probably the PM, okay, it's Ma or Sa or whoever the person is. These are like low fidelity sketches of what is going to be designed. So at least from there, the person can say that don't do this, remove this, do that. Big changes. It is very easy for you to make changes that have actually press certain colors and icons and so please then it also helps to carry everything member along. Do things like that. You can send to your probably Slack channel that group guys you can just show them that those sketches are like layouts, so to say, positions of where those things are going to be. So that's have one with your branding. So that's where you start to select type of color you want to use. For example, in ginger, we are using something like a darkish orange, I mean, something like that. But that is after approvals have been gotten from the sketches we have done. Then fonts, type of fonts, then create reusable components. That's this basically it depends on the type of technology you're using to design. Either you're using Sketch, you're using XD. So you create components that can be reused on that same thing, on that same project. So you don't have to be creating them all the time. You can just create one, then that one duplicate it for whatever you want to do. So logos, icons, then layout. Either you want to do it for Android or web or iOS. So we have different layouts for them. So I'm sorry there are not a lot of images here. So okay, so this, give yourself space before starting. Give yourself space before starting. Okay, so this is more or less like have a break between when you have worked on branding and when you actually start working. It is very, very important. That space is very, very important. A couple of minutes or you can take a whole day. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is very important. You might have thought you have gotten everything you need, but during that time of you being away from the project or from the product, from thinking from the product, you can get to remember some things that okay, I need to put this thing there, which is very, very important. And it does not make sense, which is does not make sense that you are already in the product halfway, then now remember, I'm supposed to do this. It sometimes really slows you down because that thing can be very, very important, can be a blocker to other things that you need to do. So please, let's just try and take a few minutes off the product or off the project so that you can try and, so to say, refresh yourself, go out, play basketball, or do something else at that period. So that's okay. Then that was your identity design. Service identity design. This is where you now start putting the colors, putting the fonts and all that. So follow design principles based on the type of design, either mobile or web. Now, we all know that there are design principles for all these things. You can't the way you create headers or the way you design headers for web is not the same way you design headers for mobile. So there are design principles, there are type of icons that works for iOS that does not work for Android. So things like that. So you need to follow that. Then give room for flexibility. Now this means that give room for changes. Now don't design something that is too rigid. Don't design something that by the time you want to change something, it's more or less like destroying everything and starting again. Give room for flexibilities. One of the things I learned from being here is that sometimes Bolade makes couple of design alternatives to one particular page. Just one page, we can have like 5 alternatives. So if there's going to be a change, we can easily do the change that we want to do. So please let us give room for flexibility. So that's that. So that's basically everything. So thank you guys for listening. So if you want to get the animation, just there. So I don't think anybody has any question or anything to ask. So this is about testing. So it's asking if anybody has any question.
Okay, this thing is asking if we have questions.
No, don't ask.
Okay.
Wait, who is this? What is that?
About testing.
Oh, about anything.
Yeah, exactly. So does anybody have any question?
I don't do that. Alright, so the question.
Thank you.
But things don't always go smoothly like this, right? How should I not change my phone? Be working with a design matchup. I would suddenly say, oh, I don't want this thing to be red again. I want it to be blue. I want it to be black. Can it come from the side? Can it be smaller? Would that mean that you would have to like repeat the entire process again if you want to make that change?
Anybody has any other questions?
Yes, I know. So, do you take time to rest, like you said, to?
Okay, so let me start from Yamson. Of course, I do. Sometimes I go to my room. I just no, I meditate. Sometimes I try to rest. Sometimes I just listen to music that is not even in line with what I do. So that's I do that. I do that a lot. I do that a lot. And there are sometimes I have design blocks. That's when you be like, I don't know what to do again. So sometimes you just take time off and relax and come back. Okay, so for Bolade's question, that for that place, there are some things that cannot be avoided in design systems. For example, working with a client that is over ambitious or a client that does not know what he or she wants. So there you can't remove that from the whole process. You can't remove that from those. So once those kind of thing comes up, you firstly try and explain things to the client and make sure that you telling me to do this will slow down things. Firstly, because it's more or less, for example, now changing color can be quite, it looks very easy. If you just change it to blue, change blue to green. But you are changing blue to green in all the screens you have created. So it is very, very tricky, and you have to, and colors in a way have to be, you have to consider some other things. For example, which color matches another color. Those things are very, very important. So you changing one color can be like you changing a lot of things in your screen. So that cannot be avoided. But the best thing I can advise is talk to the client and tell the client that the day of your expected date of delivery might extend. And let's say there were rooms for flexibility and probably we're getting approvals along the way. It might not have to be that until you get to the final stage. That's when the client says, I want this to be changed. So that is just my advice. Just relate with the client.
If there are major changes, you have to repeat the entire process.
Possibly. Okay.
So it's about the technology that you use. So the common ones that I know, the Adobe, you have Adobe XD, you have Sketch, you have Figma. So which one do you use? Like out of the three, like they are the three most common. Like that, they are very good. But which one do you think is
Okay, the one I use personally, I make use of Adobe XD, and that's because I'm making use of a PC laptop, sorry, or Windows laptop. This is Windows anyway. So I'm making use of a Windows laptop. That's why I'm using Adobe XD. Now, if I'm using a Mac system, I can make use of it. It's available for Windows. You can also use Adobe XD on Mac too. There is a Mac version for that, but there's no Windows version for Sketch. Okay, for me now, this, I'm not telling you that what I'm saying is the okay. From my own perspective, I prefer to use Adobe XD because that is what I've been using for a while. So I am, so to say, I know the ins and outs of the thing, but we say it is
I
Sketch.
think most designers will be very opinionated about the type of technologies that they would use. Uh, for me, I tried my hand on XD before. I don't like XD. I hope I never, right? But someone else that would use Figma and would prefer to use Figma. Before I started using Sketch, I was using Adobe Fireworks. It's actually quite old. So then I wanted to learn Photoshop, but Fireworks was like simpler. It was easier to understand for me. So I just stuck to it and I got really good at it. If you had asked me then, which was better software in Fireworks and say Photoshop or Illustrator, I would choose Fireworks, even though it wasn't very good. If I'm being completely honest. But I think about this, everything just depends on you. At the end of the day, it's not the tool that is doing the designs. You are the one. So you just pick. You just pick what you are most comfortable with, or what you feel would get the job done.
Thank you.
And one other thing, for example, you need to consider the type of system you're using, like capacity now, capability, because there are some Windows system that Adobe XD can run on. Yeah, so the best that can work for everything is Figma. Figma is online. Anybody can use Figma, but you can't just use it on your mobile phone. But on any laptop, you have that is very, 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 very important. So it depends on you. If you want to go for Figma, Figma is good. It's a very, very awesome tool. Yeah, one of the things I like in Figma is the collaborative experience that you have. Three people can be working on the same project. Very seamless. And do that on other one like for Figma working very fast.